Hello, everyone. Much peace to all. Namaste. It is with great pleasure that we are here again for our meeting and our lectures online for free. The idea is always to sound light, so a subject, discuss the subject, so that we can all use this mechanism of the internet, where you stay in your home, in the comfort of your own home, and we can open this chat, open this discussion. And the theme we have chosen today is the true concept of the dimensions of the universe. Personally, as a physicist, right? Studying mathematics, studying quantum mechanics, studying Einstein's theories, right? The theory of relativity. And also as a spiritualist, as an esoteric, I see a great difficulty in dialogue between the esoteric and science. So, esotericism has certain aspects. For example, writing a wrong concept is that the esoteric cannot communicate with science. It's the concept of energy, energy. For the esoteric, it's one thing, and the energy is bad here in this house today, and so on. Like, how can energy be bad describing something else, right? Like, the physicist doesn't have bad energy, good energy, there's only one concept, energy. It's not something else for the physicist, then the vibration is terrible. The vibration. You understand, right? So, these terms, the physicist cannot understand because the physicist has a concept of vibration. It has a concept of energy, and more than ever, the theme we are going to discuss today is the concept of dimensions. It is common, but very common, to go on the internet, to get esoteric books, esoteric subjects, and it's there. Earth is going into the fourth dimension. It's a much discussed subject. Earth is going into the fifth dimension. Right, it's moving to the fifth dimension. What is this fifth dimension, man? Where did these guys invent this thing, this term, right? Nobody enters and leaves dimensions. Dimension is a stable thing in the universe. A descriptive object. So today we are going to make it very clear, right? What is the concept of dimensions for physics, for mathematics? And what concepts esoteric use for dimensions? Okay, we are going to talk about the spiritual plane, the higher planes. The abode of the planes, that is the language of the esoteric. But we are going to try to relate this to dimension. You will see that the language used by the esoteric is a senseless language and has no fundamental decency whatsoever. That is, it is not grounded in anything. The guys used the words and concepts of science to speak nicely, let's put it that way, to describe certain esoteric topics, and it didn't work. It's a big mess. And today, it's the same thing. It happens when they talk about quantum physics, you know? Today, everyone is an expert in quantum physics on the internet. Everyone gives lectures on quantum physics, you understand? But no one has taken a course in quantum physics. No one knows, at the core of mathematics, the structure on top of quantum physics, how it was created, developed. Today there is quantum meditation, quantum energy, quantum healing. Everything is quantum, right? There's even quantum sex. You'll see, right? So we need to be very careful when you delve into science and don't know science. When you want to make your speech beautiful and use concepts, use words that you don't understand. So, this chat of ours today is very important to clarify exactly this question. So let's think about the following. Things started back then. With the Greeks, with Greek philosophy, with Euclid, with the great geometer Euclid. So what is the fundamental question, right? Of the Greeks? So, the Greeks looked at the universe, right? Looked at the stars, looked at everything around them. They had a very interesting notion. Because all this thing that surrounds us, all this region that dries up, and my life, where is planet Earth? You have to understand that these guys in the past didn't understand the macrocosmic universe. Galaxies, they didn't understand any of that. Oh, these concepts are very modern. Galaxy, right? Modern astronomy knowledge is something from 1700 onwards, with the invention of more modern telescopes, right? Throughout the Middle Ages, it was ignorance, because there was no knowledge of astronomy. So, the astronomical paradigms are broken at the end of the Middle Ages, right? With Nicholas Copernicus, Galileo, Galilei, right? Giordano Bruno. Do you understand? And everything starts to make sense. Of course, with Johannes Kepler and then the great Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton mathematically grounding all the empirical concepts that the ones before him spoke about the question of the universe. About the question of space where the stars are. So the Greeks, they started to think the universe. Where are we? What is this place where we are? So the Greeks called this place where we're space. Right? It's space. It's the place where we are. We occupy a place in space. Right. Later, we will then create the idea of outer space. That is, everything that is outside of Earth we call outer space or sidereal space. It's where you take the ship and go off to outer space. That thing you think about. The round Earth, everything outside of Earth is part of sidereal space. And this extends to where? Right? You have to think about everything in 3 dimensions. I'm already speaking incorrectly about 3 dimensions. We have to forget about this idea of 3 dimensions. There's no dimension. Until now, our language doesn't have a word dimension. So you see, then the Greeks, right? They will think about a question, right? Which is where we live. Where? Oh, the Greek paradigms. Where do we live? So, you see, this is important. We live in a place that we call planet Earth. On the surface of planet Earth, this planet Earth occupies something that we're going to call, that they called space. Okay? So, we occupy a space. And this space, right? In the beginning, right? For the Greeks, it seemed like nothing, like emptiness. Of course, today, here on the surface of Earth, we have the Earth's atmosphere. We have air, which is a material substance, but when we go beyond the Earth's atmosphere, we will realize that there is no more matter as such. There is a vacuum. Practically a vacuum, almost total. Few particles per square meter per cubic meter. That whole thing, right? So there's practically, let's say, nothing. From a material point of view, a completely empty space. Where are the distances between the planets, between the stars? We call it interstellar space or interplanetary space. It is this void that surrounds us. It's all this thing that surrounds us where we are inserted. This primordial idea of the Greeks to think of the universe as a whole. So the universe as a whole is nothing more than space, then. Space? It is the universe itself where everything is contained. So everything is contained for the Greeks in space. So space for the Greeks would be an inert substance, right? Totally abstract. It would be a total void where all objects, stars, planets are inserted. If you understand the concept, this is very important so as not to talk nonsense later on. So everything is fine.